G'day. This video is about council abuse of authority in particular. It's about a man who was served a show cause notice by a large regional council of Queensland upon him for building, apparently, a new shed, when in actual fact he hadn't built a new shed at all. It's a bit like the story of when you were growing up. Remember that one about the emperor's got new clothes? The emperor was sold a new set of clothes, remember that? And he went marching down the street with this new set of clothes. The only problem was that the clothes were invisible. They didn't exist. And so it is with this show cause notice. The shed that is purported to have been constructed by the owner doesn't exist. Let me read you the contents of this rather extraordinary show cause notice. The purpose of this notice is to provide you with an opportunity to show cause why an enforcement notice under section 4.3.11 of the Act should not be given to you, requiring you to refrain from committing the offence by obtaining a development permit for the building works, material change of use approval, oversized outbuilding, shed in excess of 60 square metres that has been erected from a private certifier. Very, very confusing. The private certifier has not erected the shed on the property, nor has the owner. Or, the notice says, remedy the commission of the offence by restoring the property to the condition prior to development by removing the building works, material change of use approval, oversized outbuilding, shed in excess of 60 square metres from the property. In reality, there is no new shed on the property. The owner already has a single shed on the property that he has obtained building approval for already, some years ago. But this is referring to a new shed, apparently, which he's built between the existing shed and his house. And it doesn't exist. This is absolutely bizarre. It's like the emperor has new clothes, when in actual fact the emperor is walking through the streets stark naked and doesn't have any new clothes. His clothes are invisible. The invisible shed doesn't exist. Further this, that says, it has come to the attention of council officers that you have commenced or caused the commencement of building works, material change of use approval, oversized building, shed in excess of 60 square metres on the premises. So it's come to the attention of council officers. So these council officers have apparently cited this invisible shed and then subsequently served this show cause notice on the owner. It's absolutely bizarre. Further to that, unless the owner is going to remove this invisible shed, he's going to be up for an incredible sum of money. Get a load of this. The building work described above is accessible development under Item 1 of Schedule 8 of the Integrated Planning Act 1997. The start of accessible development without a development permit is an offence under Section 4.3.1 of the Act. Maximum penalty, get this, of 1,665 penalty units. In other words, that amounts to, get a load of this, $166,500. How would you like to be served a show cause notice for an invisible shed that you haven't built? And unless you remove that invisible shed, you're going to be penalised, penalty maximum of $160,000. I'm sure that would make your day. Of course, subsequent to the show cause notice, the owner then sent a 4-page letter to the council explaining that the shed doesn't exist. Let me read from his letter. There is no shed erected on the property other than an existing shed on the property that has already been approved and therefore is not a building for which the owners are seeking a building permit. No new shed has been commenced or caused the commencement of building works as is purported in the notice. Council officers could not have observed the construction of a new shed or any other structure connected to the existing shed because no new structure or building has been constructed as an attachment to the existing shed on the property. It's a little bit like Yes Minister, isn't it? There has been no offence caused by me as the owner, as the notice purports, by obtaining development permit for the building works of a shed, nor has a private certifier erected the shed on the property, or any other structure for that matter by means of attaching it to the existing shed. There is no offence committed by me as the owner under section 4.39 or section 4.31 or section 4.311 of the Integrated Planning Act as you purport. Crazy, isn't it? Now, if you think that's crazy, this case gets even more bizarre. It's now been 60 days since the owner sent a letter to the council declaring that there is no invisible shed connected to the existing shed to the house. It doesn't exist, even though council officers claim it does exist. It's not there. 60 days ago the owner sent the letter, and still the council, even though it sent an officer out there to look at the invisible shed, has not been able to lift the show cause notice. 60 days later? I mean, this is getting really bizarre. So, if you don't believe me, let's go together and have a look at the site that the council claims there's a shed, and you can see for yourself whether the shed exists or whether, like the Emperor's new clothes, it is absolutely stark, invisible, naked. So, where's the mysterious shed? Well, the Emperor's got no clothes. You heard of the fairy tale about the Emperor that had new clothes? Well, this is the fairy tale of the shed that's not here. Where's the shed? Do you see any shed added onto the existing shed? I don't see any existing. I see an existing shed, but I don't see any new shed. Do you? Where is it? Is this a case of like the Emperor's got new clothes and really the Emperor hasn't got new clothes? What's happening here? Do you see a shed here?
So, as we can clearly see, there is no new shed constructed by the owner between the house and the existing shed. You can see it for your own eyes, can't you? The current shed was erected more than 5 years ago by the previous owner of the property. I wonder if that owner had the same ludicrous and bizarre experiences of abuse of authority from the council.